Hello. Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalam.
Assalamu
Assalam.
alaikum, sir.
Assalam. How are you guys? I'm just going to wait for 2-3 minutes, and we're going to start the class. Did you guys get the material for today's lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'll just wait for 1 or 2 more minutes because I told that I was going to be late. So some people might have expected that I'll be 10 to 15 minutes late. So I'll just wait for 2-3 minutes and start with the class then.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Fine, Islam. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Good. Let's start then. Okay, this is going to be the first time we would be working on writing task 1. Writing task 1 is going to be having 5 different types of questions, and those are graph, process, map, table, or a diagram. Please write it down. There are going to be 5 different types of questions for writing task 1. They might give you a graph, process, map, table, or a diagram. So they would give you one of these 4 types of questions. This thing is going to be worth 33% of your writing task. You would be not given, like, as I told you guys in the first class, that on the real exam they give you 1 hour. So you have to write a report and an essay in that 1 hour. It is entirely up to you how you want to allocate the time, but it is recommended that you give 20 minutes to this task, and your answer should be having at least 150 words. Your answer should be having at least 150 words. Now, what is going to be the marking criteria of writing task 1? Please have a look at it. It is going to be the same. It is going to be task achievement. It is going to be coherence and cohesion. It is going to be lexical resourcefulness. And it is going to be grammatical
Range and
accuracy. These is going to be graded out of 9, and you would also be given a score out of 9 for your entire exam, which is going to be writing task 1. So for writing task 1, you would be having these 5 types of questions, but you need to understand that they are never ever going to give you a choice, which means if they give you a particular type of question, you have to attempt that question. You cannot simply decide, okay, these are 5 different types of questions. They're not going to give you a choice, which means we have to be good at all of these 5. Now, when you will talk to people, they would say, well, normally graph comes. Yes, 50% of the time graph comes, but it's not certain, which means you cannot say to yourself that I'm only going to work on the graph and I'm not going to work on the diagram, or I'm not going to work on the map, because it is never going to come. So if this is something you have to understand, they can actually write over here chart, because diagram and map would be the same thing. So you have to write down pie charts. Please make this correction. Write down pie chart in the last one. Okay, any problem?
No,
No.
sir.
Let's have a look at this document which has been provided to you. Now, the chart below gives information on the percentage of British people giving money to charity by age range for the years 1990 and 2010. Summarize the information and summarize information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Now I'll start with Miss Saira. Could you tell me what is this graph about?
Sir, it is about the percentage and numbers.
Okay, it is basically talking about the money which people
To charity by age range for the years 1990 and 2000.
from 1990 to 2010, they're making a comparison. They are giving you different time. That means they're giving you different age groups.
Yes, sir.
Giving you 18 to 25, 26 to 35, 36 to 50, 51 to 65, and more
Greater than.
greater than 65. Now, when you look at this, you see that the first column is for 1990, right?
Yes, sir.
And the other one is for 2010. Whenever
Yes, sir.
you are going to whenever you're going to write a report, do you guys remember brainstorming for writing task 2? We used to actually come up with all the ideas and have an organizational structure, right?
Yes, sir.
When it comes to writing task 1, this is what you're supposed to do. Your organizational structure is going to be dependent on things which are highest, lowest, things which increase or decrease, or in simple words, you could even say more or less. And then you have similar features. This will enable you to understand what is basically being asked, or what could be the main features in the table, because you cannot simply mention everything you can see in this bar chart. In this chart, you cannot tell, or you cannot talk about everything which was mentioned, which means you have to talk about the main features. And what are the main features? Those are the numbers which are highest and lowest. If in case there was an increase or decrease, or something which was more or less, and the last one which is similar features. So I'll first ask Ms. Bisma to tell me which age group spent the highest percentage of money on charity.
It's 36 to 50.
36 to 50 in 1990, right?
Yes.
What about 2010? Ms. Bisma, what about 2010? Which age group spent the highest percentage of money?
36 to
51
50.
to 65.
So 51 to 65.
Okay, so it's 2010. So they're saying the graph below shows the information on the percentage of British people giving money to charity by age range. So those who were between 51 to 65, or you could say approximately 40% of the people between 51 and 65 gave charity, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you getting the point?
Yes.
Now, which age group from now, please try to understand, it is percentage, it is not ratio. Try to understand what the question is asking from you. The question is, and the question itself is going to tell you what you're supposed to talk about. The question is saying there is an age group, and for instance, we don't know how many people are there from 36 to 50, but we know that in 1990, approximately 42% of the people in the age group 36 to 50 donated something or they made some contributions, right? This was for
Yes.
highest. Now, what about lowest? For which age group was the lowest percentage of people making contributions?
18 to 25.
25.
So for both 1990 and 2010, it was
18 to 25.
25. Now I'm going to go to Mr. Athar Emani. Is Mr. Athar there? I think he has a problem with the internet connection. I'm going to now go to Miss Asma now. Okay, Miss Asma, if you look at this from 18 to 25, then 26 to 35, 36 to 50, 51 to 65, and then more than 65. When you look at these from 1990 to 2010, what do you see?
So there is a little bit increase in the donations. Like from 1990, at the same age, people were like giving more donation as compared to 2010.
No. Now, please try to understand. It is not about people giving more donations. It is about the number. It is the percentage of people giving donations.
Yes, sir. Percentage of
So you see that in
1990 in
for
18 to 25 years age were more.
yes from
But
for
the
18.
percentage gradually decrease.
Yes, sir.
So please look at this thing. This is a very main feature. This is the key feature. But for all the from for 18 to 25, 26 to 35, and 36 to 50, the percentage of people giving money in were higher than the percentage of people giving money for the same age groups in 2010, right?
Yes.
Did you guys get it or not? Mr. Ahmed Taha, are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay. Now, what other features can you see?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay, good. What other features can you see? Are there any other features in this thing where they were more or less? So, for 18 to 25, 26 to 35, and 36 to 50, the percentage of people who gave donations in 1990 was greater than the percentages of people who gave money in 2010.
In 2010.
Got
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, if you look at this thing, you see that in 2000, 35% of the people in 36 to 50 age group gave donations. Let me write it down. In 2010, 35% of the people for the age group 36 to 50 gave donations, and the same percentage of people gave charity in 1990 for the age group 51 to 65.
1 to 65.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Is it the same?
Yes, sir. It's the same.
Yes, sir. It's the same.
Now, what do you see? What trend do you see? For 1990, you see that for 18 to for age groups 18 to 25 and 26 to 35, or from 18 to 50, the percentage of people who gave charity increased, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
However, after 51, there was a substantial decrease in the percentage of people who gave charity in 1990. Do you see that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What
And
about 2000?
sir, it increased.
It increased from 1825 from ages 18 to 65. However,
To 65 and then gradually decreases.
yes,
Yes, sir.
it gradually decreased. Now, this entire thing is going to be written down. This entire thing has to be written down in a report. And when you write down a report, you have to write down introduction, body, and conclusion. Let's read a sample answer now and try to understand what is basically required for each type of question. The chart examines the level of donations among people of different ages in Britain. Overall, a greater percentage of British people gave money to charity in 1990 than in 2010. However, across the 2 years, the pattern differs before and after the age of 50. In 1990, 42% of the 36 to 50 age group made charitable donations, and this figure is the highest on the chart. The 18 to 25 contributed the least at only 17%. By 2010, these figures had fallen significantly to 35% and 7% respectively. The level of donations from the 26 to 35 age group also experienced a decrease in 2010 from 31% to 24%. While donations up to the age of 50 declined across the 2 years, they rose among 51 and 65 age groups from 35% to nearly 40%, which was the highest percentage for 2010. The figure for the over 65 was lower than at 35, but it was still a little higher than the 1990 figure of 32%. Now, what do you see? Mr. Athar, what happened over here?
Sir, on the first two lines, uh, they described about the chart, what
Okay.
they are.
What in the first line, they basically gave you an overall view, right? They talked
Yes, sir,
about,
introduction.
they paraphrased it. Then, what did they talk about?
So then they talk about the percentages.
They talked about the percentage, okay? go ahead.
Percentages like we recently did highest, lowest, increase and decrease, and similar. They they explain all these three features, and then it conclude in the last paragraph.
Yes, but now when I was asking you guys to talk about the features, most of you were not giving me most of the features. I think we discussed 50% of them, and they actually talked about more. So right now, since it's your first time, it would be very hard for you to come up with the features. That is the reason, if you look at these notes, I have given you this table. It is going to be a homework, not only to look at the sample answer, but also to fill up this table for tomorrow. Because right now, like it was your first time, you might have not understood how many features are we supposed to come up with. But now you would understand. Now I'm going to ask Mr. Ahmed Taha to tell me, they were saying that by 2010, they're saying by 2010, these figures had fallen significantly to 35 and 7% respectively. Where is that?
Sir, it's in the 2010 section in
Okay.
ages from 51 to 65, less than 65.
And they're talking about 35 and 50. So 36 and 50 went from 42% to 35%, right?
Yes, sir.
And for 18 to 25, it went from 17% to 7%, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about 26
Sir.
to 35? Where was it?
Sir,
31 to
30
24 decrement
went down to
from
what?
30, 24.
Okay,
24%.
very good. And what about 51 to 65? Did it increase or decrease?
sir
It's in
increase 35.
It's-
Okay, now,
35 to 39.
yes, now I'm going to ask Miss Saira, after reading the sample answer, did you feel more comfortable in trying to have a better analysis of the table or the chart?
Yes, sir.
So this is something which will happen with you guys for, I would say, 2-3 days, that you will look at the table. I kept on asking you guys, okay, what other features are there? But most people were not able to reply or give satisfactory replies about what was the increase, how much was the increase. But after reading the sample answer, all of a sudden, I actually have formed some sort of interest in this thing, because now you would start understanding it. I would be giving you guys homework on the weekend. When I would be requiring you, I would be giving you a link of a website. I would be requiring you to read 50 questions along with the answers. As you will start reading them, you will see that you will become comfortable in understanding the type of question. Okay, let's discuss one other thing now. They're talking about while donations up to the age of 50 declined across the 2 years, they rose among 51 and 65 age groups from 35 to 40%. Where is it?
Sir, it's,
51 to 65.
They're talking, yes.
we talk
In 2010.
Yes. So do you see that from 18 to, for other age groups like 18 to 25, 26 to 35, 36 to 50, something which I had written down, the donations reduced. However, for 51 to 65, they increased. The
Yes, sir.
percentage of people who gave donations increased from 1990 to 2010. Got it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Anyone not understanding it?
Yes, sir.
Now, you might understand it, but believe me, it is going to be very hard for you to come up with an answer, because right now you would be having one thing in your mind. Okay, what is going to be the format? What are we supposed to do first? Are we supposed to do highest, lowest first, increase, decrease first, more, less first, similar features first? Well, it has to be a combination of all of these. So when you will read more, you will start understanding. Or what you could do to be on the safe side, you can make one paragraph for highest, lowest, which could be separate. For increase, decrease, and more and less, you could make one paragraph, and for similar features, you can make one paragraph. There is one thing you might have noticed over here. For writing task 1, although you're having an introduction, you're not supposed to give a conclusion. Did you guys get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to ask Mr. Ahmed Taha to read this answer once again, so that you guys could have a better understanding of it again. Please read it.
Sir. The chart examines the level of donation among people of different ages in Britain. Overall, a great percentage of British people gave money to charity in 1990 than in 2010. However, across the 2 years, the pattern differs before and after the age of 50.
Okay, please
In
stop.
nine,
Yes, please
yes,
stop. What do you see? Overall, what is overall? Linking device. What is however? However is a linking device. Across the 2 years. After however there is a comma. Across the 2 years there is a comma. Across is what? Preposition. Do you see that whatever we did before we started the IELTS course, all that grammar review, we were actually working on these things, and you can see all these things in the sample answers also. Do you see them?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Continue, please.
In 1990,
Now, please
42%.
stop, Mr. Ahmed. Please stop. Why is there a comma after in 1990?
Sir, because it is starting from a
Because it's a
preposition.
Yes. Very
Is it-
good.
It's a
Now
preposition.
continue reading. I'm not going to disturb you anymore. Read it.
Yes. In 1990, 42% of the 36 to 50 age group made charitable donations, and this figure is the highest on the chart. The 18 to 25s contributed the least at only 17%. By 2010, these figures had fallen significantly to 35% and 7% respectively. The level of donations from the 26 to 25 age group also experienced a decrease in 2010 from 31% to 24%. While donations up to the age of 50 declined across the 2 years, they rose among the 51 to 65 age group from 35% to nearly 40%, which was the highest percentage for 2010. The figure for the over 65s was lower than at 35%, lower than this at 35%, but it was still a little higher than the 1990 figure of 32%.
Okay. Very good. So even if you have understood 50% of it, it is fine. It is not bad. Anyone who understood less than 50% of whatever we did? Shall I continue to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Let's have
Yes,
a look
sir.
at this. Move to the third page now. We are moving to the next type of question. And after doing this one, I think this one would become a bit more interesting for you guys, because you guys are not required to come up with highest, lowest over here. You just have to talk about the changes which have occurred in all these years. So what do you see? Let's start with Miss Bisma. What do you see in 1950? Can you read the title, please?
The diagrams below show the changes that have taken place at West Park Secondary School since its construction in 1950.
Okay.
Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant.
Okay, good. So what they're saying is that the diagrams below show the changes that have taken place at West Park Secondary School since its construction in 1950.
Construction. Yes.
Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Let's start with Ms. Saira. What do you see in 1950?
Sir, there was a house, a farmland, a
Okay.
playground,
There are
and a school.
houses, there is farm
Houses, farmland, playground,
and playground.
school, main road.
Very good. Now what happened in 1980, Ms. Saira?
Well, in 1980, the houses were replaced by car park,
Let's do it slowly. Houses were demolished.
demolished.
Okay, what else? And there was a car park.
Farmland is also replaced by sports field.
Car park was there. And there was a science block. What else?
Science block, sports field,
Okay,
sports
so
field,
farmland
sir.
became sports field. Okay, good. What else?
Playground remains the same with the same area, and while school is also there.
Okay, so the school building is still over there.
Yes, sir.
Good. What happened in 2010?
In 2010, the area of sports field is decreased and the area for car park is increased.
Could you
The
say
area for the playground is also decreased.
um, area for playground decreased? Playground,
Sports field area is also decreased.
sports field area also decreased. What else?
Car park area has increased.
Car park area decreased. What else?
While
And
the
school
school
building
and
remained the same.
main road remained the same.
Very good. So this was not very hard, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
But try to understand something. Most people are going to limit their scores to 6 to 6.5, even if they understand all these things. You can never ever gainsay the importance of two things which I keep on talking about, and they are grammatical range and accuracy and coherence and cohesion. Which means if you're comparing something and if you're not using words like however, you're not saying on the contrary, you're not saying on the other hand, you're not talking about although you could say like although there were houses in 1950, they were demolished in 1980. So the usage of these words is going to enable you to increase your score to 7.5 to 8 very easily. If you cannot use them, you will limit yourself to 6 or 6.5. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, when you have 3 years for, if you're given a diagram and if you're having 3 years, you would be expected. If you were having only 2 years, then you would have just talked about the changes which occurred. But if you're having 3 years, normally in diagrams, you have to give one paragraph for this one for this one, and one for this one. Let's read the sample answer now. The diagrams show West Park School at three different stages in its development: 1950, 1980, and 2010. In 1950, the school was built close to a main road and next to a number of houses. The large area behind the school was turned into a playground, while the area behind the houses was farmland. By 1980, the houses had been demolished in order to make way for a small car park in addition to school building, which became the science block. In addition to the existing playground, the school also gained the farmland and converted it into a sports field. In 2010, the school building remained unchanged, but the car park was extended to cover the entire sports field. As a result of this, the original playground was divided into two so that it provided a smaller playground and a small sports field. During this period, the school has increased in size and a car park has been created and enlarged. The combined recreational areas, however, first expanded and were then reduced in size. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I want Miss Asma to read this answer once again for me.
Okay, sir. The diagrams show West Park School at three different stages in its development: 1950, 1980, and 2010. In 1950, the school was built close to a main road and next to a number of houses. A large area behind the school was turned into a playground, while the area behind the houses were farmland. By 1980, the houses had been demolished in order to make way for a small car park and additional school building, which became the science block. In addition to the existing playground, the school also gained the farmland and converted it into a sports field. In 2010, the school building remained unchanged, but the car park was extended to cover the entire sports field. As a result of this, the original playground was divided into two so that it provided a smaller playground and a small sports sports field. During this period, the school has increased in size and a car park has been created and enlarged. The combined recreational areas, however, first expanded and were then reduced in size.
Okay, any problem?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Okay, let's move to the next page now. You have a graph now. This time we are going to not just do it haphazardly. I'm not going to turn the page unless we have enough information for highest, lowest, increase, decrease, more or less. I'm going to ask you guys one by one to give me a similar feature or something increase or decrease. Okay, let's start with Mr. Emataha. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
What do you see?
So it's a graph between the number of months and the number of hours of sunshine.
The graph and table below show. Please, can you read it for me?
Yes, sir. The graph and table below show the average monthly temperature and the average number of hours of sunshine per year in 3 major cities. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant.
So let's start with New York. What was the temperature for New York? What was the lowest temperature among all cities?
So it was near 4 in January.
Okay, and was it the lowest for all these?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please write it down. Lowest, New York, 4 degrees. What about the highest one?
It's also New York.
Also New York?
Yes, it's
How
30.
much
Yes,
was
sir.
it?
So it's near to 30. In July.
In July. What about Sydney? What about Sydney?
Sydney has highest temperature in January,
Lowest
which was around
26.
6, and
Yes, only Mr. Ahmed Taha for now. Then I'll ask the next person.
so the highest temperature reported was around 26 in January,
Okay.
and lowest was reported in July, which was near 16.
Very good. So the highest was reported in as 25 and lowest was 16.
Yes, sir, in July.
What about the third city, London?
London has the lowest temperature in January, which was 8,
Okay.
and highest temperature was 23.
Okay. So I'm writing all these down, but it's not that you have to use all of them, but still you're going to write them so that you know which ones could you use. Let's start with Ms. Zainab Ali now.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me anything which increased or decreased?
Sir, the temperature of New York increased to 30 and then decreased to 5 in December.
So you can say from January to July, it increased from 5 to 30.
And then decreased from July to December, it decreased back to 5.
Is it a main feature?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not sure whether it is 5, but just write it down 5. It went from Jan to July. It went from 5 to 30. However, from July to December, it went back from 30 to 5. Right?
Yes, sir.
Miss Bisma, can you tell me any other which increased or decreased?
London.
Are you there?
Yes, London.
London. What happened in London?
It's London. From January to July, it's increased and gradually then it has been decreased.
Okay. So I'm not sure whether you guys know about it, but you can see that for all these cities, there was the shape is more like a parabola, right?
Yes.
It's U-shaped. Now, what is interesting about July? Can you tell me something interesting for July, Ms. Bisma?
Mm,
For July, you can see that the temperatures or the temperature for New York and London was high. However, for Sydney, it was low.
yes.
Was high, but for Sydney, it was low. What else do you see?
Mm,
What do you see about London? Are you guys there? I'll now be asking Miss Asma. What do you notice about London?
So in London, from January to July, the temperature increases, then eventually decreases from
Very good.
July to December.
And what else do you see for London? You see that if
Sir,
you compare London
and
to the other cities, it is for the entire year, it has colder temperatures, right?
yes, sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
And it has a slighter change
Yes.
from July to December.
And it never actually went beyond 20 degrees.
Yes.
No, it never went
Yes, sir.
beyond 24
25,
degrees. 24 degrees.
24. Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you deduce from all these lines intersecting each other? What do you deduce from all these lines intersecting each other? What do they mean?
So they mean that they have a similar characteristics at that point.
Very good. What does that mean? It means it is a similar
Same
feature.
temperature, yes, similar temperature.
So, can you tell me in May, which two cities had the same temperatures?
So
London and Sydney,
Sydney and New York.
yes, New York. No,
No,
London and New York.
London and Sydney, London and
London,
Sydney.
London and
Sydney.
Sydney.
New York.
Sydney.
Okay, what about September?
London and Sydney.
So London and Sydney.
Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any problem?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Now
No,
let's
sir,
see
it's London and New York.
London and New York. So you'll just do it at your own for homework and see which one it is, because I think
Okay.
some people are just confusing themselves. Now you have another table total
Can
annual,
we call it equilibrium point?
sorry,
Can we call it equilibrium point or not?
you wouldn't call it equilibrium point, but you would just call it like the temperatures were the same for these two cities at that
Intersect.
particular moment.
Okay.
Now you see a table. The table says total annual hours of sunshine for London, New York, and Sydney. So you have London, New York, and Sydney. What is the meaning of this?
Sir, New York and Sydney have the same number of hours, almost same number of hours
Of
of
sunshine.
sunshine, whereas London has the least number annual hours of sunshine.
Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Let's read this thing. Now please try to understand. Some people would write down conclusion for writing task 1, some people would not. If I were to write it down, I would definitely write it down. But if you read sample answers, most sample answers, or even if you go to websites, online websites, they will say to you that, okay, it's not required because in the introduction you have basically summarized it. But over here we have a conclusion. Let's read it now. The data provides information on average temperatures and annual hours of sunshine in London, New York, and Sydney. The temperatures patterns for London and New York are similar, although New York has warmer summers and colder winters. In both cities, peaks occur in July, August at 23 degrees in London and 29 in New York. In contrast, Sydney's hottest weather is in December, January, when temperatures average 25 degrees. During this period, New York's temperature dipped to an average of around 5 degrees, compared with 8 degrees in London. On the other hand, Sydney's lowest average temperature in July are just over 15 degrees. As far as hours of sunshine are concerned, New York and Sydney have similar averages of 2535 and 2473 hours respectively. London, however, has a much lower average of 1180 hours. Clearly, London is the coldest city and has fewest hours of sunshine. New York has the hottest summers, but Sydney enjoys the warmest overall climate. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any problem?
It's compulsory that we should make this table highest, lower, more or less.
No. You don't have to do it. This is something
Okay.
I'm giving you for you to facilitate yourself. This is the organization structure. On the real
Okay.
exam, they will simply give you this part. This would not be
Okay.
given. We are working on it because if I just say to you, okay, write it down, most people would say, what are we supposed to talk about?
Okay.
So now at least you guys know that you have to, whenever you get a table, you get a graph, you know that you have to extract highest, lowest, increase, decrease, more, less, and similar features. And by that, you would be able to write down your answer.
Okay. So
Got it?
we have just write down in real exam.
In the real exam, you simply have to write it down. But it is always,
Okay.
I would say it is always recommended that you work on this
Okay.
thing, because if you don't work on it, most people would only put 2 to 3 ideas, 2 to 3 points.
Okay.
But you
Okay.
should be having at least 10 points for you to write a better answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine.
Yes.
Move on to the fourth one. The pie charts below show the online shopping sales for retail sectors in New Zealand in 2003 and 2013. Summarized information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Now, I'm going to give you guys about 3-4 minutes to come up with your own points, and this time you will tell me which is the highest lowest point, which is the increase decrease, and which is the similar feature. I'm going to make you guys do it and then we will discuss it, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this time is Zainab Ali will tell me. So in
Okay, sir.
2010, 2003, on which sector produced the highest percentage of online sales?
Travel sector, sir.
Travel.
Yes, sir. And it declined to 29% in 2013.
Okay, so increase and decrease. You're saying that travel went from
Sector.
36% to
29%.
39%.
29%.
Okay, what else?
in 2000. Sir, in 2003, the film and music sector was 21% and increased to 33% in 2013.
Okay, so it was okay. Which sector produced the highest percentage of online sales in 2003?
The travel sector? No, sir,
The lowest. Sorry.
the books sector.
And which sector produced the highest percentage of sales in 2013?
The film and music sector.
And which sector produced the lowest percentage of?
The clothes sector.
Are there any similar features?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Don't you think there would be some similar features in the trend? For instance, for which sectors did the percentage of online sales increase?
The books
Okay.
and film and
Books
music
as
one as
well
well.
as film.
Film and music.
Books and
Film and music.
film and music.
Yes.
What else? Nothing else.
No, sir.
So for these two sectors, the contribution towards online sales increased. They contributed
Yes.
more towards online sales, right? These two sectors, are you guys getting it?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
These two sectors contributed more towards online sales from 1990, from 2003 to 2013. However, which sectors contributed less towards online sales?
The travel and
The
clothes.
travel and clothes.
So, do you see that there is a similar trend over here also?
Yes, sir.
What else? You can also talk about more or less. We have not been working on it. For instance, 36% of, you could say 36% of the online sales in 2003 was from travel, which was 17% more, which was 17% more than the online sales generated by books. Please concentrate over here. What was the percentage of online sales generated by travel, Mr. Ahmed Taha?
36%.
Okay, either you can say 36%, or you could say that the percentage of online sales generated by travel was 17% more than the online sales generated by books. Can you say it
Yeah.
in that way, Ms. Asma?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you can also talk about increase or decrease, or you could talk about more or less. Now let's
Okay.
have a look at,
Right.
Ms. Asma is going to read this answer for me, please.
Okay, sir. The, the two pie charts compare the percentages of online sales across different retail sectors in New Zealand in the years 2003 and 2013. For three of all of the sectors, it is evident that over this time frame, there was evident change in the proportion of online transactions. At 36%, we can see that the travel sector accounted for the majority of online sales in 2003, but this percentage had dropped to 29% by 2013. Across the same 10-year period, as an increasing number of people choose to purchase films and music online, we can see that transactions went from just 21% to 33%, making it the retail sector with the highest overall share of the online market. In 2003, the clothing industry boasted an impressive 24% of total online sales in New Zealand. However, by 2013, the figure had fallen considerably to 16%. Interestingly, online sales of books eventually overtook sales of clothes, although books still represented only 22% of the market.
So any problem with this one?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Now let's have a look at the last one. Okay, do you see this? The last
Yes.
one is a
Cinema
process.
production.
Ms. Saira, can you please tell me what is happening in this process?
Sir, I think it's a cement production.
Okay, it's a cement production. So can you tell me what is really happening over here?
Sir, they are telling us about the ingredients
Okay.
and the processing.
Okay, so what are they doing basically? How are they starting?
Mixing
While
lime.
they have added limestone and clay,
Okay,
and the
and that
crusher is
limestone and
crushing
clay
it.
is put into the crusher. Then,
Yes. Then it will go to the mixer.
okay, what about the
Then
powder?
it will,
Powder form.
yes, it crusher forms the powder,
Okay,
and the next process is mixing.
okay, then.
The mixer blended it. Then it went to the rotating heater,
Mm-hmm.
and then it is also provided in the rotating heater, and then it is grinded.
Okay,
While the cement through the grinder, cement is produced, and then it is packaged into the bags.
okay,
And then they turn it into bag. Okay.
okay. Now, Ms. Asma is going to tell me about the concrete production. What really happens in the concrete production?
Yes, sir. So there's a cement of 15% proportion and the water is of 10%, and they
Hmm.
are mixing it, and then they are also adding the sand, which is 25%, and gravel as well, which is 50%. So
Hmm.
they are mixing every these ingredients into a concrete mixer. The
Hmm.
concrete mixer will mix them for some time, and then it will be concrete will be produced as a
Very good.
result.
Now, let's read the sample answer. The diagrams illustrate the phases and apparatus to make cement and how cement is utilized in the production of concrete for construction. The production of cement involves a 5 stage. There should be a hyphen after 5. Linear process that begins with the mixing of raw materials and culminates in the packaging of new cement. Making concrete is a simpler process that involves mixing 4 ingredients in a concrete mixture. The limestone and clay are crushed and the resulting powder is then mixed before being passed through a rotating heater. Once heated, this mixture travels over a conveyor belt and is ground to a grinder. Now that the cement has been produced, it is packaged and transported to a building site where it can be used to make concrete. Concrete is made up of half gravel, quarter sand, 10% water, and 15% cement. All of these are added together in a cylindrical drum and rotated until concrete is yielded. Any problem?
No, sir.
No.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
when you look at these 5 types of questions, they are, I'm going to write these down again. They are graph, pie charts, process, diagram, or a table. Now, when you would be given these 5 different types of questions, you have to understand that different types of questions would be giving you a different type of data for graph. A different type of question would give you a different type of data for pie charts. For instance, a pie chart could be talking about online sales, a pie chart could be talking about the number of degrees granted, a pie chart could be talking about the pollution levels. If you're talking about a process, there could be a process in which you would be applying for a job. It could be a process of making concrete. It could be a process of transporting one thing to the other. As far as the diagram is concerned, they might be asking you to talk about the changes which occurred in an island. They might be talking about the changes which have occurred in a house.
Birth rate and death rate.
Yes, for a table, they might be asking you to talk about, like they might be talking about the number of hours traveled. They might be talking about the distance of one um, of one planet from the other. So you have to first of all understand that whatever we did today was just working on the different types of questions. It was not only, it was not only something which would be covering everything. I would be sharing some homework with you guys in which you would be working on things more. Now that we have covered this thing quickly than was expected, I'm going to give you guys a speaking topic, and each one of you would be speaking on this topic for 1 minute. Okay. A time when you look at the sky. Why did you look at it? What did you see? How did it feel? And do you often look at the sky? Let's start with Miss Saira. Start, please. Do you want a minute?
Sir, should I start now?
Do you want a minute or do you want to start?
Sir, I want a minute.
Okay, you have a minute then. Okay, please start. I'm simply going to give you a score. I'm not going to correct you guys while you are making mistakes. I will simply give you a score. Start, please.
Okay, sir. A couple of years ago, I was with my mother walking in my garage, and my mother just told me to look at the sky, and luckily it was a full moon for there, and I saw the full moon for the first time in my life. The moonlight was just so much. It was like illuminating the whole world, and it was so much bright, and it was so much bright night at that night. And my mother just told me that how beautiful and fascinating this night is, and night was actually. So we just adored the beauty of the sky, and there were also other stars on the sky, and they were also just shining a little brighter than routine. And I saw just the sky, and the stars were there. There were so many stars also,
Okay, very
and
good.
it was
Standing.
brightening. And
Yes, very good. That would be the end of the exam. It would be standing at 7 right now. It was very good. Next person is going to be
yes,
Mr.
thank
Athar Remani. Mr. Athar,
Yes, sir.
yes, you have to speak on this topic. A time when you look at the sky.
Just give me 1 minute, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed Taha will speak on this topic. A time when you look at the sky.
Yes, sir. One fine day when I was cleaning my car to go to office, I happened to look at the sky. What I saw, I felt cool. I felt very cool breeze blowing down, which happened to see the sky, which happened to look at the sky. I saw a number of dark clouds, and the sun has been disappeared behind the clouds. It actually gave me a mesmerizing feeling. Although I don't often see sky, this was a rare gesture. But this was a rare gesture. Uh, Soon it started to rain, and it started raining cats and dogs. Uh, in addition to that, I got full wet, and I have to go to my home back to change my clothes so that I can change the clothes and go to office again. Overall, it was a good feeling, and it gave me good goosebumps.
Okay, very good. You're
That's
standing
it.
at 7 right now. Good. Miss Zainab Ali, speak please. Miss Bisma, please speak on the topic.
Well, I sometimes take a quick look to sky if there is any dark clouds on the horizon. For that reason, it was a yes. Last night I looked at the sky. For that reason, it was a mesmerizing view for me. Moreover, I cannot elaborate in words because the view was just mesmerizing.
Okay, are you done?
Yes,
Okay. Should I
Can
give
I
you?
speak?
yes.
You have to speak more. Okay, fine. Miss Zainab Ali, it's your
Yes,
turn
sir.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, I spend most of my evenings spending in my lawn with a cup of tea. But there was one of the most memorable time. It was 3 years ago when I was sitting in my lawn one evening, and I remember it was a calm, sunny day, and it was a middle of July or August, and the sky was really clear with deep blue, with only a very light clouds. But after an hour or half an hour, I could see that the sky was darkening and the wind started to blow quite really hard, and the clouds were moving very fast, and they were like there was like a steam of ray rolling towards me. Even though the sky was still really blue, but I could see I could still hear some thunderstorms, and probably with some thunder as well. So we started to panic, and we were also excited at the same time. I could see the birds chirping and swirling and moving there here and there, and there at the same moment it began to rain like cats and dogs, and the air was no more still there and was staying under a strong wind began to blow, and the lightning flashed and a thunder roared from time to
Very good.
time,
Could be standing
and
at 7 right now.
that
It could have been 7.5, but it would be 7 because I think that whenever you have to relax yourself, you give yourself some pauses which can easily be avoided. So um, you have to work on that thing also. I think Miss Asma is left.
okay, sir.
Yes, sir. While living in a big city, we often couldn't get this much time to look at the sky because there's a lot of pollution and population issues in the big city like Lahore I'm living. So that was one day when I was like walking on my roof. Me and my friend, we were at home, and we were like just like walking randomly, and at a sudden, uh, sorry sir, at a sudden I look at the sky and there was a moon, and the moon was very bright and there were countless stars, and my friend and I, we just started to count the stars, and there were many stars that we were not able to count them. And that was the night when it was the first night when I saw this much stars on the sky with the full moon. And and this was a very mesmerizing scene for me, and I was like astonished to see, and that was very fascinating for me to look at the sky. And the moon was very brightening, so it was very amazing, as well as because my friend was also with me, so we were having the we were enjoying the scene as well. There was light everywhere, like just like a twilight, so we were enjoying this as well, and we were eating something. So this was a very good experience.
Okay, that would be standing at 7.5. Now, today, the purpose of today's class was only to introduce you guys to these five types of questions. I would be assigning you guys homework for tomorrow or on the weekend. Today, you just learn how to do them, but how would you actually get better at writing those answers? For instance, if someone is saying the following chart shows, that person could also say the following chart illustrates, right? The following chart depicts. If you're saying that the sales increased significantly, the word significantly or dramatically, from where would you find all these words? Have you ever wondered? Miss Asmari there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Did you wonder, like, if I'm giving you all these questions, from where would you get better vocabulary? From where would you get better grammatical structure? For instance, if I'm saying the the sales, or you would say, I would say that the sales increased. You could say the sales increased significantly. You could say the sales increased considerably. You could say the sales
Yes,
increased
sir.
dramatically. You could say the
We
sales
can use
increased
similar words. Yes, sir.
drastically. From where you from where would you get these?
So I will get these words when I will work on my vocabulary, because
Yes, but how would you know on which vocabulary you have to work? Now, I'm just telling you guys, I would be sharing a document today or tomorrow in which there would be about 10 to 15 pages for each of these exercises,
Okay.
in which
Okay, sir.
they would be giving you better vocabulary. They would be solved exercises. You'll have to put them down. And when you would be working on them, you will realize that you will have a better understanding on the kind of vocabulary which you would be required to give. Got it?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Is Mr. Athur Remani here? Mr. Athur,
Yes, sir. Sorry,
please,
sir. Due to poor internet connectivity, I
okay,
couldn't.
please,
Yes.
please give your answer. We are waiting for you.
Okay. Sorry, sir. First of all, okay. Sky. Mostly I like to look at the sky when I feel in stress or anxious about lot of emotions, which makes me relaxed and comfortable. Mostly I love to look at sky when it is morning or in the evening, because winds fly to the colder areas, and by which clouds are also moving with the winds, by which I can get imagination of different shapes while looking at the clouds. And as I also have an interest in astrophysics, I love to look at the sky at the night, mostly because when I focus on star or any other object which are easily visible in sky, uh, I saw a random lights emit from that star, or you can say in a different color variation.
Okay. Are you done?
I think so.
It was very good. Compared to your speaking exam, it was very good. It was standing at 6 to 6.5. Now,
Thank you.
I would be giving you guys homework for this. I'm just going to repeat it again. आज हमने सिर्फ today we just work on what these questions are, but I would be giving you some skill development exercises for these questions, and it is from the book which was given to you on the first day, I believe, which was IELTS Advantage. I would be uploading that book again, and I would be giving you the pages which you are supposed to complete before you start reading these types of questions. Fine?
Okay. Okay.
So I would also be requiring you to type those for me. Type those answers and send them to me because I have to make sure that you do it. If you don't do it, you will see that your quality of your writing for writing task one would not improve that much. Today, after this class, I would also be assigning a writing task two essay. I've started checking those essays. Please have a look at them. And I'm also checking those paragraphs. But by tomorrow, I'll be done with all of them. And I'll be then calling you and I'll be discussing the mistakes which you have committed. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Allah
you,
Hafiz.
sir.
Allah.
Thank you, sir. Allah Hafiz.